Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on today's video. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. Today's project is this really cute little gift box that I put together this week and was really pleased with the way that it turned out. I've been seeing an awful lot of spinner cards on the internet recently. Stampin' Up have brought out some great products for making your own spinner cards. And I wanted to see if you could use sort of a similar mechanism to a spinner card to make a locking mechanism for a box, and I'm really pleased that this turned out so well. Now, I've kept the decoration minimal, but I'm loving this gold embossing look. Can you see that? I think it's really pretty, and it's basically a gift box. I made it for a bracelet I was giving a friend, and the lovely little emblem slides across and you can then open up, and inside there is a cute little gift box, and then it just closes up the same way, slides back across, and it's ready to go. So I was really pleased with the way that that turned out, and should we get on and show you how I made it? Okay, this one is Emerald Envy, that is the word, with basic black, and then it is embossed in gold. So we're going to do one today, keeping still quite regal colour scheme, and we're going to go for some Elegant Eggplant, which is the really rich regal purple colour. And you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. The Elegant Eggplant, or aubergine as we say over here in Europe, doesn't sound quite as literal, does it? Measures 10 5/8 of an inch by 3 1/4 inch. And our black piece is 5-inch square. Okay, first thing we do is a bit of scoring on both pieces of cardstock. So I will grab out my scoreboard, put that down, and very simply we're going to start with our piece of basic black, and we're going to score that on all 4 sides at 1 inch. So 1 inch, 1 inch, turn it around 1 inch again, and for the last time at 1 inch. Okay. Our piece of Elegant Eggplant, we're going to score this at 3 inches, 4 1/8 of an inch, 7 1/8 of an inch, and 8 1/4 inches. Okay, and then we're going to tip it round, and we're going to just put a little notch at 1 inch. Just a little notch at 1 inch there on the side that we scored. So we've got a 3-inch box, and the other end we've put a little notch there at 1 inch, just on one side. Okay, put the scoreboard away. That is our scoreboard scoring done, and we'll put away a piece of Elegant Eggplant. Bring back in your 5x5 square, and we're going to do a bit of stamping and heat embossing on there to begin with. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper. And the stamp that we used to decorate this is a new one from Stampin' Up, which I actually resisted for quite a few weeks, and then I gave in and I bought it because it is lovely. It's called Moroccan Nights, and it's got these gorgeous Moorish patterns that we're going to use today. We're going to use this border stamp and then this, just a little bit of this one. So I've already mounted up the border stamp, and I need some Versamark ink because we are going to heat emboss it. And if I can just show you, can see on this one we've sort of stamped a border around it, and we're going to do our stamping in the middle of the border on all 4 sides, so hopefully that will become apparent when we do it, but I just thought I'd explain that. So let's take our ink, stamp that up, okay, and I'm just going to come down in the bottom border to begin with and just try and get it in the centre of that border. Okay, you can't really see because it is very small. You can see there, light's bouncing off it. Turn the card 90 degrees, stamp, ink up your stamp again, and go back again in the middle of this border. Okay, turn it round, try not to smudge the ink that you've put on, whereas you can when you turn it. Next side, and we'll turn it around. If you hold the corners are going to disappear, so we can hold on to those without worrying about smudging our ink. Our last one there. Okay, Now I'm going to come in with my gold embossing powder, which is tidied away itself. Here it is, gold embossing powder. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on all 4 sides of my cardstock where we've just done our stamping. Okay. And then just tip that off. Beautiful. Now don't worry about the corners where we are overlapping, because as I said, those are going to disappear when we build up a box. We just want to try and get a good coating of ink, of embossing powder on the edges. There's just a little bit here, it's a bit light. I'm just going to sprinkle a bit more on there. Okay, and just a little tap on the back to get off any excess. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm going to pop that out of the way. I'm just going to move my scrap paper out of the way, and in a minute I'll pour that back into my tub, but I'll just put it over here. A minute. Then I'm going to bring in my heat tool. So if you're a bit noise sensitive, you might want to turn down the volume now. I'm just going to heat it up. And then, this magic never gets tiresome for me. I hope it doesn't for you. If you can obviously fast forward this if you want. And then I'm just going to heat up the powder that I've just poured on, and you can see the magic. Just, oh, such a wow factor. Nearly done. Just one more edge to do. Okay, perfect, looks good to me. Okay, I'm just going to leave that to dry for just a second. I'm just going to show you what else I did when I was heat embossing, just to save a bit of time. I've stamped this beautiful pattern on a piece of scrap. That's why I've got these score lines, because it is scrap, but we're only going to use the centre. So I've stamped this lovely image in Versamark, and I've also heat embossed that as well in gold. And all we're going to use is this centre section. So I have my 1-inch punch, 1-inch circle punch. I'm just going to trim it down. Okay, come in with my 1-inch punch and just line that up so it's in the centre. Punch out the gorgeous centre of that motif, and that's going to become the capped clasp on our box. Okay, let's grab our bone folder next, if that hasn't vanished. Note to self, don't tidy up too much before filming a video or you will lose everything. Here it is. Okay, so just going to fold and burnish the score lines on this box. Just be gentle that you're not going to damage that beautiful heat embossing too much as you fold up at the edges. And then we're just going to cut up the corners on 2 sides like this. Last one there, and then cut those off, notch those out. Okay, right, and now our fuse is here. I'm just going to put a bit of fuse on the underside of those 4 flaps we've just made, and then fold that up like that to make our little box where we can pop in whatever goodies we are going to be gifting inside the box. Okay, now to make the wrap, what we need is to start with our trimmer and a piece of elegant eggplant cardstock, and you can remember where we made that little 1-inch gap. Now what we're going to do is do a diagonal cut from this line to the corner here. You can either do it by eye, or if you want to be really neat you can do it on a trimmer like I'm going to do. So I'm just going to put that groove that we made into the, line that up with the groove of my trimmer, and then the other corner of the cardstock with the other groove on the trimmer. Close that down, and then we're just slice that off so we get a nice diagonal piece there. Okay, perfect. Put her away, bring out our scoring tool, just make that neat, and then just going to fold and burnish those score lines that we made earlier. And we should find then that our little box fits perfectly in there like that. Yeah, okay. Now before we glue that down, we just need to make our little notches for our slider. The way we do this actually blew my mind a little bit when I first saw it. So this is the new punch from Stampin' Up, and you can see it's got this hexagonal edge. First thing we're going to do is on the 3-inch piece of our box, we're going to take our punch and we're going to slide that in as far as it will go, and then we're just going to level it up on either side, and you'll see that because it's 3 inches, it basically perfectly fits the punch, so you haven't got any cardstock really poking out here, and you're on that bend there, and we're just going to punch that out, okay? And that will put a nice little notch in the centre of a card. Don't throw away this little piece yet. So what we're going to do is just going to fold up our box. So bring our embossed piece into the middle. Okay, fold that over like that so it closes up. Okay, and then I'm just going to get a little bit of snail on the back of this bit we've just punched out. Fold that over and up. And then I'm just going to stick this down, sorry, do it the other way around, do the larger piece on top. There we go, so fold that up so your box is all neatly up. Oh, we're just separating a little bit there. Okay, so fold that up like that. And then I'm just going to stick down this little piece through that gap. There, like that, okay. Oh, it didn't stick. Let me try it again. So I've pushed that down there into position. Fold this up here and here. And we just want to try, I'm making a bit of a mess of this, aren't I? Oh, let's see if I refilm or whether I edit this out. Don't like editing. Okay, so there we go. Push that in there and that should stick. Nope, it's not working. Why are you not working for me today? Let's try it the other way, see if that makes it any easier. So fold up your box so that it's square. So then pop this back in. Make sure I'm getting it perfectly wrapped. Let's try it this way. And line that up over there like that. No, it needs to go backwards a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to use that. That was a bit painful, wasn't it? And now we're going to use, honestly, it's worked so much easier when I've been making them up in practice. And we're just going to then, using that as a guide, punch out that second shape there. Okay. Now, this is probably what I should have done first. I should have stuck this little box down. So we're going to put some Tombow on the bottom of here. Okay. And then stick this onto that section of our box here. Just leaving a little lip on either side, so when it closes up we do still see a little bit of that that elegant eggplant cardstock. So there we go, like that. Okay, now for the bit that sort of blew my mind a little bit. If you take a Stampin' Up dimensional, here we have one. This perfectly fits, can you see, in that groove we've just punched out. Isn't that magic? So that slides perfectly up and down that groove. That did blow my mind a little bit, I'm not going to lie, when I saw that. Little scrap of elegant eggplant cardstock. I'm going to punch out a 3/4 of an inch circle. And I'm just going to stick a dimensional on the back of there. And pop that through our hole so that the dimensional and the circle slide up and down together. You see how it's going to work now. Then I'm going to take a scrap of black cardstock and I'm going to punch out a hole that is 1 1/4 inches. There we go. And I'm going to layer that up with this piece that I did earlier, which was my 1-inch circle, and again use a dimensional just to give a little bit of depth there. Okay, and then I can peel the back off here, and then I'm just going to move that into the centre so I can see a bit better, and then mount my clasp on the top there, and that will then slide up and down there, so that when we fold up our box, overlap those, and then the clasp should push perfectly on. We got there in the end. It was easier than I showed you to cut out that overlapping hole. I made that look a lot more complicated than it actually is. But those are my 2 boxes. I hope you like them. I think I much prefer the green colour scheme. What do you think? But I think they're really beautiful boxes with that really interesting opening mechanism. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to buy any Stampin' Up products, it's my honour and pleasure to help you. You can shop online on my online store. There is a link below. If you've enjoyed the video, please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up like below. And I will be back soon with another project. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.